This one is Stop Holding Back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello?
But I think it'd be quicker for one of us to just run over and snag it at their door.
Hi, Carrie.
Hi, is this Gina?
Hear us?
Hi, how are you?
Please say that again.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I can hear you. I don't know, I have my volume, that's why. Okay, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi,
You ready?
I'm ready, I think.
The participants are coming on, so we've got quite a few.
Oh, yay.
But yeah, can you see everything at the bottom where you can share your screen? And
No, I can't see anything, but I'm not doing slides. I'm just talking.
she's closed.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I don't think she needs to share anything.
Okay.
She's good.
Okay.
I'm gonna be talking in here.
Can you see when they're coming on?
I'm not even on.
Oh.
Because I didn't want to pop up. You can see.
I know, I can't. But I don't think Carrie can. Carrie, can you see the participants at the bottom? Can you see any?
No, I
No.
can't see anybody.
Okay, well, let's see. It is,
I would say, yeah.
yeah, let's go for it. We can see.
Okay, is there a chat button? Because I was gonna ask if there was questions, and if I can't see anybody.
I don't know why she can't see because
That's
she's.
fine. What I'll do is, Carrie, we will man the chat for you because there is. And then do you want to do a Q&A at the end or as you're going?
Oh, wait, I see the
Okay.
the chat button now.
Okay, great.
Yeah. No, I'll just ask for questions at the end. So I'll just give a little talk and then ask if there's any questions or comments.
Perfect.
And then it's not long.
Okay. Well,
So
we're excited to
I'm
have
giving you all
you.
I got.
Yeah, perfect.
All right, well, Carrie, take it from here.
Okay. Hi. I can't see anybody here, but I'm guessing there are participants. My name is Carrie Peterson, and I hope I'm talking to people. And I'm an interior designer, and I've had my own business for about 13 years, and I absolutely love what I do. And I want to say thank you so much to the Seattle Design Center for allowing me to come and speak to you today. Okay, so let's go. 2020, it has been a doozy. When the Seattle Design Center invited me to speak, I was so grateful and so humbled. But I also thought, how am I supposed to talk about design at a time like this? Now, don't get me wrong, I love talking about design, and I can talk about fabrics and furniture all day long. And there's a lot of speakers this week that are gonna tell you all about the exciting things happening in our industry. But as one of the first speakers, I thought we should just go ahead and address the elephant in the room. Feels more like a T-Rex in the room. I think a lot of us started out 2020 with a lot of high hopes for this year. Everyone was saying 2020 vision, this is going to be the best year yet, the year that we're going to start that business or write our book or do the podcast or the blog. In March, I was at an industry event in Palm Springs, and I was in a little bubble. I wasn't checking the news or on Facebook much. And I was sitting by the pool and probably drinking a margarita or something. And I started getting all of these texts about there not being enough toilet paper, and that kids might be off of school for a week or maybe 2. And I was like, oh my God, this will be rough, but we'll get over it. And I'll get going back, with work and all the exciting things I had planned for the year. Well, it hasn't really worked out that way. And the months that have followed, at least for me, have been filled with fear and chaos and anger, and at times sheer hopelessness. It's not exactly the stuff that dreams are made of. I think the other emotion that I've been feeling so much lately is frustration. Yes, frustration at what I'm seeing on the news and on social media, but also this frustration that doom and gloom has become the absolute singular narrative of 2020. It's all bad news all the time. And I think we've been so fixed on survival the last several months that those dreams we had at the beginning of the year, or even whispers of a dream, have all been so quickly locked away. And it's not even that we want something and can't have it anymore. It's like we've become numb to wanting anything at all. Now, I'm not saying we should ignore the news, get off of social media. We need to be informed, definitely, and work for safety and justice at all times. Like, that goes without saying. But what I'm wondering is if there's another lens in which we can view 2020. What if, instead of 2020 being the dream killer, it becomes this powerful catalyst in helping us decide what we truly want out of life? And what if, as 2020 has both figuratively and for some of us literally burned through our lives, it's also created this massive clearing, a way to see forward? And what if there's a pandemic plot twist, a good one, in which you and I become the heroes of our own story rather than the victim? Now, I have to say, I am not coming to you having this figured out, like not even a little bit. Like, I'm not a motivational speaker. I'm just an interior designer. And a lot of things that I'm saying to you today are just things that I need to hear because I've become so discouraged. And also, I need to point out the obvious, in which I am a white woman, a white, hetero, able-bodied woman who is also unpacking her own privilege and complicity in a lot of the injustice and hurt and trauma that's going on right now and has been going on for years and years. So my lens is narrow. And now that I've laid out my own incompetence as a speaker, let me tell you what I do know about. I know about rock bottom. I know about my rock bottom. I know about grief and loss and how paralyzing it can be to move forward when you've been stuck in negative circumstances for so long. And I know about moving forward with my goals and my dreams, however imperfectly, because I didn't want pain and sadness to have the last word in my life. Because I wanted to create something beautiful as a sacred tribute to all that I've lost. I think before I can give you tips and tricks on how to pursue your goals during a pandemic, we really need to address all the excuses, because 2020 has given us plenty of excuses to not do a dang thing. So let's go over those, and then I'll have some ideas for you. I think the first excuse that at least I have felt, and maybe some of you have felt as well, is that it's just not appropriate right now to go after those big goals and dreams, right? It's selfish for me to be thinking about my passions and my dreams when the whole world is suffering. People can't pay their rent. People are going hungry. There's injustice everywhere. I need to think about other people and their suffering and not my own. And I think that sounds really altruistic, but it also sounds like martyrdom. And I don't think the world needs any more martyrs. I know a lot about this because I'm a mom, and I think being a martyr is one of our best party tricks, right? We do everything for everybody else, and then we're also resentful and mad. I think that we just trick ourselves into thinking that we just need to focus on ourselves and have no joy, and that's how the world needs us, and that's just not true. I really think the opposite is true. That I declare that creating art and beauty and doing something that gives us joy is an act of resistance to all the horrible things that are going on around us. When you pursue your passions and your dreams, it offers hope and gives others a reason to fight and try. You doing something that lights you up and sets your heart on fire is a protest in a way that says, 2020, you can have what you want, but you cannot have my joy. I think artists and creators, and when I say creators, I mean anybody that's putting anything new into the world, I think we could be conduits of truth. I think when you create, you can help channel the collective suffering and turn it into something useful, maybe even something beautiful. The word creation is the opposite of the word destruction. So 2020, you can destroy, but I will create. And you must believe that you are an endless source of creativity because you are. I think our creativity cup runneth over, and it's always enough for ourselves and sometimes enough for those people around us. And if you're lucky enough in the pursuit of your passions to create something that makes money, you go and make as much money as you want. And I say that unapologetically. If there was ever a time in history that we needed well-funded women of means and influence to make big changes in the world, it is now. Money is not good and it's not bad, even in a pandemic. It is not moral or immoral. It's simply a tool in our tool belt. You are allowed to make a lot of money, even in a pandemic, even in a recession, even when those around you are not making as much. It's not selfish or inappropriate. Now is a call to action. So don't shrink back, waiting for a more appropriate time to turn your visions into a reality. You becoming smaller doesn't make the world bigger or better. And I guarantee you, there are people out there with less talent than you, less means and less privilege, going and making big waves, making things happen because they have no other choice. It's totally appropriate. I think the other excuse that I come up against, and maybe you feel this as well, is that there's just not enough time right now, right? We've got kids in school. Sorry, I need water. Kids in online school, right? Mine are full-time jobs, endless Zoom meetings. Suddenly we are at home and we have all this time on our hands, but we've never been busier. And time's going by super fast, but also so dang slow. But I think this is the truth. Whether times are chaotic or not, precedented or unprecedented, pursuing your dreams is never something you really have time for. And I think that's because any moment of free time we have, we are so quick to give to somebody or something else. And the problem with giving away all of your time is that it's also so celebrated in our culture. A mom who gives everything to her kids and leaves nothing for herself is seen as totally devoted. Or an employee who works nights and weekends and never takes a vacation is seen as the model example. The more we sacrifice, the more society praises us. Pursuing your dreams is never something that you have time for. It's something you create time for. It's where you become an archaeologist of your own daily schedule and you excavate and carve out little pockets of time for your goals and for your dreams. 20 minutes here, 30 minutes there. It may not seem like a lot, but that time adds up and creates huge momentum. And it often means that you have to say no to things that are perfectly good in order to pursue something that is perfectly great. As a lot of you here know, my son passed away in 2012. and I was left with 2 small kids to raise. I had a business that had pretty much shut down for 2 years while I was in hospitals and doctors' offices, and I had my grief. And I think it would have been well within my right to put my dreams of being a successful interior designer on hold, like indefinitely. No one would have blamed me. But something inside me, despite my reality, despite my responsibilities, I just kept this one corner of my heart open for something that, I don't know, felt unimaginable or impossible or unforgettable. I didn't have time to do any of it, but I created time wherever I could, not because I had to, because I wanted something that was just for me. After so long of giving everything to everybody else, I wanted something that was just my own. Creating time for my dreams is how I survived the most difficult time in my life, and it's still how I survive. My creativity is my lifeboat. So please give yourself the gift of creating tiny pockets of time for something that is outside of your current circumstances, for a dream that is beyond COVID, beyond quarantine, and all the loss and heartbreak of this year. Okay, another excuse. It's just not safe, right? In this economy, during an election year, trying something new, putting yourself out there, it just doesn't feel safe. And I have felt that so much. And this is what I come up with. Okay, so we're literally living on this planet, this giant rock in space that is just hurtling and spinning around amid asteroids and black holes and dark matter, and nobody's really sure why. Like, I don't think safety has been the point of any of this. I think what 2020 has revealed is that we have never been safe, that safety and control are just an illusion. And for us privileged white folks, the means and measures we've taken to secure our own safety and station in life have meant the subordination and oppression of others. Whew. So if safety and control are an illusion, and our attempts to achieve safety and control are futile at best and totally destructive at worst, what is it that we can count on? What is our constants? The only thing that is permanent in life is impermanence. Everything changes all the time. And we have the choice to allow this truth to debilitate us, being so afraid of what's coming next that we make our lives as small and predictable as possible. Or we can allow this truth to set us free. And if everything changes, often in an instant, it means that something truly wonderful could be right around the corner. An opportunity you've always dreamed of, that cool new client, that project, whatever it may be, it might be right around the corner. And yes, I know bad changes can happen to, like 2020, we get it. It can always get worse. But I think I'd rather walk through life feeling that the best is yet to come rather than the worst. I think that might be a better posture for me, for the people I live with, for my clients, for my friends. And what if we could stop viewing change as fully good or fully bad? What if change just means the fuller expression of who we're meant to be? My kids grow and change every single day. And I don't spend a lot of time categorizing these changes as fully good or fully bad. I just know these changes are necessary for the full expression of who they're supposed to be. And yes, it's so hard to see my kids grow and change. But would I want them to stay the same? Of course not, because I'd be robbing them of life's most precious gift, to grow and to get old. The only thing that is permanent is impermanence. And if you're waiting for a safer time to pursue your dreams or go after your goals, that time may never come. I don't know, but I have a feeling that 2020 might not just be a year. It could be an era. It could be a marathon, and we might be at mile 3. So stop waiting for it to be safe. Stop waiting to feel ready. Stop waiting for your circumstances to change. Those things may never come. Stop thinking about doing the thing. Stop planning about doing the thing. Just do the damn thing. One of my favorite quotes is from Ram Dass, and he says, "Start from where you are, not where you wish you were. The work you are doing becomes the path." And the last excuse that I want to talk about is a big one, that the feelings of grief and loss and pain are just too much. And that might be true, and that's okay. Processing your loss and working through the trauma of the last 8 months might be a full-time job for you. And what an important job it is. Your healing and your mental health should always be the #1 priority. But here's where it gets kind of magical. When you can take your sadness and your heartbreak and your loss and use it to create something that might help you, and more importantly, help somebody else. So if you're ready to take on this challenge of really going after what you want, I have a few tips that might help. The first one is start from where you are. Even if it's rock bottom, right? There's something to be said for saying, this is where we're at. I remember several years ago, shortly after my son died, I was laying in bed and I had watched this show called Honey Boo Boo, and I watched it for like 7 hours straight, and I was drinking whiskey out of a coffee cup. And I just looked around and I thought, this is rock bottom. This is where we're at, right? It's not a failure. It's just announcing that we're at mile marker 1 and the journey has just begun. I think we get so caught up in where we think we're supposed to be in life that it becomes paralyzing to move forward. I do this all the time. I think about the projects I should have had, the money I should have in the bank, the people's lives I should have impacted. And I know this is all stuff I've made up in my head. I think we need to find a way to detach from these impossible ideals and find the courage to push through the resistance of just starting. My second tip is to get really specific about what you want. If you don't know what you want, how do you know if you ever get it? How do you know what micro goals to set in order to get you to your bigger goal? And there's a good chance that 2020 has shifted your thinking about what you really want. It has for me, and that's a great thing. Your true desires might be just coming to light. And if you don't know what you want, take some time, carve out some time, some concentrated time to figure it out. You owe it to yourself to explore your purpose. My third tip is stop the all or nothing thinking. I think that we have it in our heads that we need to devote 40 hours a week to our dreams and goals. And we need to have the perfect website and 10,000 followers on Instagram and the perfect logo and 20 clients lined up. And that's just not how it goes. Start with 20 minutes. Give up 20 minutes of Facebook scrolling, which is leaving you feeling dead inside anyway, and send an email or play with the logo or write a blog post, right? The all or nothing thinking is keeping you paralyzed. And remember how I said you need to get super specific about what you want? You don't have to get super specific about how you're going to get there. That's all or nothing thinking. It's never going to go how you think it's going to go. If you think 2020 has a lot of twists and turns, try going after a big goal. There's so many freaking cliffhangers. And it doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. You're doing it right. Allow this to be a perfectly imperfect journey. My fourth tip is don't wait for the opportunity. Go make one. I spent so much time sitting around, twiddling my thumbs with my perfect website, just waiting for clients to come, and it was crickets, absolute crickets. So just go find the opportunity, go find the client. And I'm not saying that every opportunity is going to work out. I'm a freelancer. I get rejected all the time, all the time. It's horrible. But this is what I found out. In the process of pursuing one opportunity, another opportunity may come up, one that is even better. You never know. Get really comfortable with rejection. I'm getting better at it, and choose to view it as redirection towards something that is going to get you even closer to your goal. And please believe that opportunities are out there, because they are. Even in a pandemic, the opportunities are everywhere. You just have to go find them. And my fifth tip is, please ask for help. I know this is so hard for some of us. It's hard for me, but I ask for help all the time. This event is hosted by the Seattle Design Center. You people from SDC that are here, you know I ask for help all the time. I always have questions, and you help me because you want me to succeed. Ask your friends, ask your family, announce yourself, announce your dream, and tap in to the support and encouragement that is all around you. And if you don't have a support system, be hell-bent on finding one. You're gonna need it. You're gonna need people to believe in you on those days that you're too tired and weary to believe in yourself. So this is my hope for you, is that even in these unprecedented times, you may also find within yourself a level of courage and resiliency and creativity that you never knew you had. And no matter what happens in the upcoming days, no matter what happens next week with the election, right? Keep going, keep fighting, and if you can, leave a little corner of your heart open for the unimaginable, for the unforgettable, and for the impossible. I want to leave you, before we get to the question and answers, with a quote that I love from Sarah Van Brethnock. She says, "Open your arms as wide as you can and receive all the miracles with your name on them." And I'm going to say, go get your miracle. It is out there. Okay, thanks for bearing with me through that. It's so weird not seeing faces. So I'm sorry if I just fumbled through it, but thank you so much. I see that there's questions in the chat. Well, there's comments, and they're lovely. Thank you. Does anyone have any questions? Did I solve all your problems? Did I figure everything out? Nothing? I thank you for all the nice things you're saying about me. Oh, wait, Stacy has a question. Stacy Burke. Get on it, Stacy. I think she's typing it. Okay, Stacy. Oh, okay. Stacy says, "You're a mom. How do you deal with kids who are suddenly more emotionally needy?" Oh my God. That's such a good question. In my house, we are all having very, very big feelings. And it's hard because I'm also having big feelings. And my kids need me to regulate my own emotions. And that's been like, I've had to put on my big girl pants and show them that like I can do that and leave a very safe space for them to feel whatever they're feeling. And the best thing that I have done is whenever I can, and most of this is on the weekends now because I work a lot during the week, is take them out individually and spend time with them and talk about what they're feeling. My daughter and I, we walked to the Arboretum, walked around the Arboretum last night and watched the sunset and drank hot cocoa. And I talked about my feelings. She talked about her feelings. We laughed a lot. And they just need a little more hand holding now than they did before, but I'm actually enjoying it because I'm connecting with them on a different level than I was before, and it's making me be more present. And I think that's spilling over into my work, where I'm more present with my clients and the people that I work with. So that's amazing. Okay, Great talks, da 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 da. How specific, okay, Maggie says, how specific of goals are you setting? I set pretty specific goals. So you guys want to hear my big goal, which I don't share in public, is that my dream is to be on television and to have my own show. And it's something that I got really close to, and I worked for about a year for, and then it didn't happen. And I definitely needed to figure out how to redirect and deal with the rejection of that not happening. So I'm saying it, I'm being specific about it. I also have very specific money goals that I set for myself, not because I have to, but because I want to, and I like making money and it makes me feel good. So yeah, make a lot of money, be on TV, have my own show. In the meantime, I'm having the time of my life at work. In pursuing that goal, it's led to a lot of other opportunities that have been so fun and so rewarding. So I'm enjoying the ride. And if it never happens, it never happens. But I still had a hell of a lot of fun on the way. Okay, so Kelsey says, is there anything you suggest having ready before starting something new? Documents, clients, etc. You know, I mean, I think the thing is, do the best you can and have a few ducks lined up, but a lot of it is trial and error. And I'm the kind of person that I like to fail fast and then figure out how I can, you know, change course. So I'm not good when I have to have a lot of things just lined up, because I'll stay paralyzed for sure. So, you know, have a few processes in order, have a few documents, but then you just need to get started. You need to go, and then the work you're doing becomes the path, just like that quote. My best friend Jamie says, who are some of the most beloved designers or creators that have inspired you in your business? I have been such a fan of Nate Berkus for my whole life. Like back when he was on Oprah, and I don't know, I was probably like in high school or something like that. Like I was fawning over his work, and I love his personality. So he's definitely been a big one for me. Who else? I'm drawing a blank. I mean, there's so many people. Like, I'm obsessed with everybody, pretty much. I always feel just like really grateful to have a seat at this table, because I feel like I'm the kind of person that it just takes me longer to figure everything else out than everybody else. Like I've just always felt that way. And so to be where I'm at right now, like I've a little bit of talent, but like mostly just a lot of hard work and banging my head against the wall over and over again. So I'm just happy to be here, and I'm just a fan of everybody, honestly. What is your favorite book or most life-changing book that you can recommend? Oh, I know. You Are a Badass. That book is by Jen Finero, I think her name is. And she's amazing. It's a short book. It's a quick read. I read it years ago, but still think about it all the time. Yeah, You Are a Badass. Carrie Gunderson says, how or are you sourcing for inspiration different? Oh, how are you sourcing things differently in 2020? Well, I think, the quarantine has definitely been different. There were so many months that I wasn't going anywhere. I wasn't going to the design center. I wasn't leaving my house. And so inspiration was hard to come by. But that's when I started going back to blogs. Like I started reading people's blogs or going back on Pinterest and trying to find inspiration online as much as I could, because I couldn't see things in person. And then the other thing that I do is I watch a lot of movies. And so I'm the kind of person that will watch a movie and just look at the set design. I have no idea what the actors have said because I'm obsessed with the sets. So I get a lot of inspiration from TV and movies as well. Okay, so let's see. So many questions. Do I have a specific list of vendors that I use in my business, or do you shop around per project? Yes, I have. I am a big fan of being loyal to my vendors. So I have showrooms at the Seattle Design Center that I use over and over again. DFG is one that I use, Jay Garner. I'm there all the time. These guys are amazing and so helpful for me, and I could not do my business without these friends. Kravit, I'm in there all the time. So yeah, and I'm always looking for new sources, but I find that it's nice to work with the same people over and over again, and with vendors and manufacturers where you can trust the quality of what you're getting. So it's things that I can always rely on. What else? Somebody was asking about daily inspiration. Oh yeah, Stacy, can you talk to us about daily motivation? Talks to get me pumped up, or how do you hold on to the excitement? Man, I don't. I have to be my own cheerleader every dang day. And it's hard. It's really hard. I listen to some podcasts, but a lot of the podcasts I listen to right now aren't exactly motivational. A lot of them talk about racial injustice, so I'm not exactly feeling pumped afterwards. But you know what I do is I journal every day, and I write down nice things about myself, like maybe things that I'm not necessarily believing at the moment, but I find there's real power in words. Stacy, you're a writer, I know that, and so you know this too, that our words are so powerful. So I journal about myself every day. It's my little love letter, and I write all the things that I'm capable of and all the things that I'm grateful for. And yeah, it just kind of keeps me motivated. I listen to a lot of music, so that helps me get pumped up. And there's a few like mantras that I say throughout the day, and one of them is that help is all around me. I'm someone that I can become easily overwhelmed and feel like I don't have enough in me to get done what I need to get done. But I always say help is all around me, right? There's people, there's resources out there to help me, and I just have to remind myself of that. And I feel like it really calms me down. Sorry if you covered this in your presentation already. I've been multitasking with work, which is why I wanted to ask, were you working full-time somewhere when you started your design business? If so, do you have tips for balancing full-time work while trying to launch a business? So I worked as an interior designer. I worked in furniture showrooms first, and then started my business and had an okay business until my son passed away. And then I didn't have anything. Like I had no clients, I had no nothing. So I had a baby at home that I was caring for and a 4-year-old. And so I was a full-time mom. And what I did is that I hired a babysitter to watch my kids so that I could go and try to drum up business. And all my money went to the babysitter. And like for a few years, I made $0, like almost nothing. So no, I wasn't doing a full-time job, but I was full-time mom also trying to do it. And I would work weekends and I would work nights when the kids went to bed. So it was a lot about just carving out pockets of time that I just didn't have time to do. Yeah, anything else? Thank you so much for coming. The last thing I want to say is if there are interior designers out there, I am launching my small group coaching, Design and Thrive, in just a few weeks. I've launched it already once. It was super fun and exciting. And I'm gonna do it one more time live. So if you're interested in that, put your email in the comments maybe, or you can email me. My email address is, I'm going to put it in the comments here. It's carrie@kpspaces.com. I'd love to have you join if you're ready to get your interior design business to the next level and reach your income goals. I'd love to help you. So yeah. Oh, Katie says you don't want to miss it this time. Yay, Katie. I'm so excited. We already have a few on the waiting list. So
this is Gina with the Seattle Design Center. If you want to put your email in one more time, I think it just went to all panelists. You want to click that button and make sure all panelists, all attendees, and then your contact information will get out.
Thanks, Gina.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. That was so motivational. I think we're all ready to take on the world.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah.
I stumbled through it, but I did it. Yeah, one of my goals is to be a better public speaker. So you guys are helping me make that happen.
Well, we're so grateful to have you. And
thank you.
We could watch you all day. So thank you.
All right. Well, thanks everybody. Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.